Hello everyone. Now I'll simply explain how I make money online. You can use my experience, my advice, my bot. It's free and get the same results, the same profit. Let's get started. Dear traders, hello everyone. Let me show you how we work. I'll show you my trading strategy, my tricks and secrets, and what helps me make money. For example, the first currency pair, British pound and Australian dollar. I go to our bot, click start and select this currency pair, British pound, Australian dollar, time frame M1. The bot loads an image like this for me. And before moving on to the image, I'll highlight two levels here. I'll mark one a little lower. I mark the levels based on previous stops that I have on the chart. Now let me highlight and show these levels. Here's the second one. And the chart should move either to one level or the other. Here is the stop on the chart. Here is the stop. I marked one level through these points. Here is the stop on the chart. Here it is. Here is the second level. The chart is in the middle between them. Which level the chart will move to, we'll find out now using our bot. Since I requested this screenshot, I already understand where it's going to go. $100 for 3 minutes. A trade down. I'm adding the currency pair to my favorites. So right now, my chart will move to the lower level. I'm expecting a decline. It won't go to the upper level. Even if it touches this level, there should be a pullback from it. This level right here. If in 2 minutes and 40 seconds the chart, this line here, just to make it easier for you to understand, you can, if I set the candles like this, and in 2 minutes and 30 seconds the chart is lower, if the chart is below the point where we made the prediction right here, then we'll take home a net profit of $72 from this trade. So here are the two levels. Now, let's move on to the bot and what indicators I pay attention to. As always, I'll explain everything in simple terms. I don't like complicated and convoluted explanations. That's a taboo for me. The first indicator is this one, the future, the movement of the chart. So here we have the same chart, since we selected the same currency pair on the bot. Here is the same chart, which is moving downward. See? That's the first indicator. And here's the second indicator. We have red, which means down, and green, which means up. Up 43, down 57. Of course, here the majority is for a decrease. And when my first indicator and second indicator match, both pointing downwards, that's a sign, a signal for me that the chart will go down. Here they are, the two levels. We set the first one based on these stops and the second one based on these stops. The chart was in the middle. There was a slight rise and a correction. I expect it to go down. Let's follow along, just like I do. This forecast will close soon. I have about a minute left until the end of the forecast. Here it is. You can see the time, 1 minute and 3 seconds. This is how I analyze. This is the kind of work I do. Here there's a tab called Analytics and an economic calendar. If you have 10 minutes or less left before the news comes out, be careful with certain currency pairs. There might be volatility. What does that mean? For example, you predicted that the movement would go down, but instead it doesn't go down, it goes up, and only after 3 or 4 minutes does it start going down. This sometimes happens when there are less than 20 or 15 minutes left before the news is released. With some pairs this happens, but with other currency pairs everything is fine. If during my trading session I encounter such a volatile pair, where for example I opened a $100 position downward, and it closed at a loss, not a profit, but a loss. I'll show you how I handle such situations and how I manage to come out of them with a profit. This is very important. There are 4 seconds left. I close the trade in profit and earn a net $72. Excellent. It's early morning Moscow time right now, and because it's early, my percentage here is low. In Moscow, it's currently 7:50 a.m. Thank you very much for your feedback after trading with the team. We're trading well. According to the forecast from Monday to Friday. We start at 11 a.m. Moscow time and go until 5 p.m. Here we took a profit from this currency pair. We're leaving now. I have a rule, and there are more rules in our Telegram channel. Add them from there. Watch how I do it. I use these rules. If I take a profit, I move on to another currency pair. Here's the next currency pair, British pound, US dollar. We click on start together. Currency pair, British pound, dollar, time frame M1. While the bot is loading the chart for me, I'll mark 2 levels, just like with the previous currency pair. Previous stop. Here it is, right? I'm looking at what's higher based on previous stops. Here's the previous stop. So you can analyze and observe using this kind of chart, or you can analyze and observe using the candlesticks. I had candlesticks set up. In the time frame, I set M1, the same thing. Here I had stops on the chart, and here as well. 1, a level. 2, a level. So here are 2 levels. Will the chart go to the upper level or to the lower level for the bot? Now let's see. The main thing is that both indicators are in sync. Look, this might happen. This icon means that news is coming out right now, so you need to be very careful. The future movement of the chart is downward, so the signal is down, but here the majority is green, meaning up. When the indicators are like this, I don't consider them. See? The main thing is that both indicators point in the same direction. And I simply close this currency pair. When we trade in the morning Moscow time, the payout percentage is at its minimum. I try not to go below 70. Since this is a light educational video, let's take a look at this currency pair as well. Let's check out 68%. Currency pair, British pound, Canadian dollar. Start. That's how I work. I analyze and predict the movement of the chart. If I don't end up with a loss right now, I'll simulate a situation as if I did get a loss. And I'll show you how I get out of such situations. Let's see what the bot tells us. We wait, the image is loading, we open it, and here I urgently open a trade. 3 minutes, $100, opened upward. Let's walk through it. First, why is the first step to mark the levels? Here, I've marked the level. The second step is to look at the bot. I believe the chart will go up, upward. Switch to the bot. Let's see what we have here. Here, the majority, 52%, is a signal upward, green. The future movement of the chart is also upward, red. See? We see it. So we've marked the zone, marked the level, and we see that here the movement is going upward. Look, I'll give you an example. If, for example, I switch to another currency pair, but this one is an OTC currency pair. I trade regular currency pairs, you see, British pound, Canadian dollar. Quotes from these regular currency pairs without the OTC label are available on global markets, so the broker can't deceive me with this, because OTC charts exist only on the broker's platform. And I can't check them on any other source, but here, the TradingQ site provides global quotes. I can always double check, for example, if this particular trade didn't work out for me. The price went up until it closed and we took a loss. For example, I lost $100, so I switched to another currency pair, for instance, to this currency pair. Or let it be this currency pair, because the percentage is good. And I multiply the trade amount not by 2, but by 2.5. So instead of $100, it will be $250. And I set up 2 levels in the same way according to this scheme. I do everything. And I also request from the bot according to this trading strategy. And when the second trade goes into profit, we get $230 net. We get $230 net from this trade, and these $230 will cover the loss that I had, and I will also make a profit on top of that. This is my trading system, so as not to go into losses in the long term, which is very important. Accordingly, at the end of each week, I withdraw funds either to a safe account with a very good broker, not just any safe account. They don't pay dividends, but you do earn interest for keeping your money there. I either transfer to a safe account or I withdraw and leave just enough on deposit so that I can't take out insurance to insure myself. That is, having a large deposit really helps, a large deposit relative to the size of the deposit. The minimum trade amount is in dollars. For example, here I have $100. So this kind of situation can also happen. Keep that in mind. I talk about this in every video and live stream. 4 seconds left. Let's follow along. The trade closes in profit. We predicted everything correctly. $68. We take it. So in this trading session, we took $72 from the first trade and $68 from the second. Awesome. That's it. I'm going to take a short break now because at the moment I don't have many currency pairs with a good payout percentage. And then we'll continue together. Let's request this currency pair again. British pound, dollar. I recommend this as well. Trade a little, finish trading. Trade, then finish trading. That's how I recommend working. That is, not in a way where you sit for an hour, 2 or 3, because fatigue really takes its toll. It wears you out. You might be trading, for example, and not even notice how tired you've become. And because of fatigue, you might start losing trades. You just make mistakes, just do things wrong. You look at the wrong pair and so on. The bot is free. Here is its name. There's something else I'd like to tell you. Test everything new on a demo account. Try it out on a demo account, gain experience and skill, and only then move on to real trading. The main thing is to avoid risk. Look, here there's a signal to go up, and here there's also a signal to go down. This is not the right currency pair. It's the one we looked at earlier. Remember, the British pound to the dollar. Here, too, there was no signal. The main thing is that we have a clear signal in one direction. That's why I'm going to take a short break now. I'll pause and wait for new currency pairs with a good percentage to appear, and then we'll continue. Look, here's what I did. The break was about 15 to 20 minutes, and now we have a new currency pair. Let's analyze it now. But still, the maximum payout percentage will be around lunchtime Moscow time. We have a lower level, and we set it like this. There's an upper level, and we set it like this. Do you see which stops I used to do this? One level is at this stop, and the other is at this stop. And the chart is between these two levels. Right now, it's in the middle, like this. You can go to the chart and practice. Guys, I'm urgently opening a trade downwards. Currency pair, US dollar, Canadian dollar, down for 3 minutes. For a decrease, for a move toward the lower level, why down? And why did we need to open it quickly? Because the chart is about to reach the level. The first indicator, red, the majority, signal down. You see, down 76%, up 24%, no up. And here is the future. The chart movement shows that there will be a downward move. Right up to the level, there will be a correction, then another move down. Even if there is suddenly a correction, two indicators are pointing in the same direction. We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. So right now the payout percentage is at a minimum 70, but in 2 hours it will rise to 80 or even 90. That means we can earn more if the payout percentage is higher with the currency pair. But in principle, I'm not being greedy, and I recommend you not to be greedy either. You can't be greedy here. Greed ruins everyone, unfortunately. That's why I recommend earn your profit and leave. 70% is also good. If my trades are clean, they close successfully. So far there are 2 clean trades. Right now, this is a clean trade. It's a clear profit right away, without any of those insurances. If, for example, this trade had closed at a loss, and the next trade had closed with a profit, well, yes, then it would have been like a profit with insurance, or as many say, with a martingale. But for now, this is a clean profit. And before this, we had 2 trades. Those were also clean profits. This is the trading strategy I use. The only thing that can interfere is the news. For some currency pairs, at the moment, news is released, or when it comes out, you see the average volatility, but it will be quite strong. At the moment the news is released, for example, you might see from the bot that the chart will go down. It might go up first and only then go down. For those 5 minutes, it could go up. So please keep in mind that news can interfere with us here. But aside from news, there aren't really any other factors here that could interfere. It's a very good trading strategy. Previously, we used to trade with you using volumes as well. Vertical volumes, horizontal volumes, oversold, overbought conditions. You can remove them now, or you can leave them. The bot shows the levels. By the way, if you don't know how to set levels, here, you extend it once, then extend it again, so you see 2 levels. Above and below, you switch to the broker and simply transfer these levels to the broker. Even if you can't set the levels yourself, you just choose a currency pair and set up a very good trade. I have 11 seconds left here. I'll take a screenshot and do an analysis of this trade for our team in our Telegram group. Let's take a look now. It closes in profit. Excellent. We get a profit of $72. That's it. I also have another currency pair coming up. Here it is, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Let me pretend that I can't. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, that I can't. As if I can't mark the levels. And here I'm not marking anything right now. I just requested this currency pair from the bot and I'm waiting. And when the bot gives me the chart, I'll look at it and see these levels with you. Take a look. Here, the bot shows here's the lower level, here it is, and here's the upper blue level. I just extend them. Here's the chart. In the middle, there's a signal up. You see the future. The chart is moving up. Here's a signal up. A signal down isn't an option. Most are up. So 3 minutes up. And you can already set these levels here as well. Set the lower level based on previous stops. Clone and set the upper level. Did I mark them correctly? Here are the two levels. I believe the chart will go to the upper level. If the news comes out now, or rather it already has, I think it will play into my hand here. That is, in continuation of the price movement. Just like that. It will help us here. So far, how many do I have? 3 clean wins. 1, 2, 3. 3 clean wins. Here's the fourth trade. I also recommend not to be greedy. So you get 4 wins, then take a break. You get 5 wins, then take a break. That's how you should work. It's very beneficial. You don't get tired, you don't burn out. You move forward carefully, taking small steps toward a big goal. Let's keep monitoring. But anything can happen. Sometimes there's volatility. So subscribe to my Telegram channel. I talk about this there. I share my useful tips and tricks so you can see and understand what might happen to you and how to get out of such situations. For example, if there's suddenly a loss here, God forbid of course, but if there is a loss, then I take the loss. I cover it with insurance, 2.5, and I'll show you how I cover it with insurance. But if there's a clear profit, then that's great. Some days are tough, some days are easy. A tough day is when the chart just doesn't cooperate at all. But that's because of the news. For me, a tough day used to be Tuesday, but now it's Monday. On Mondays, for example, I might have 5 wins and 1 loss. But today is a good day. So far, 4 wins and 0 losses. I started trading this morning. So keep in mind, days can be different. When I first started trading, this was 7 years ago, I began testing my trading strategy. And it still works today. And overall, it works really well. Trades are coming in positive. They're going through just perfectly. And it was like that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Excellent. The whole week. I actually made a lot of money. The weekend goes by, and then the next week. On Monday, my strategy doesn't work at all. And I changed my strategy. That was a mistake. You just need to understand that there are days when the market is extremely volatile, and you just need to minimize your trading session. So if before I used to make 20 or 30 trades a day, then on such a tough day, when trading isn't working out, you should just make 7 trades or 5 trades. Maximize the number of these trades. That's another plus here. We have 4 seconds left. That's a really good profit. Pretty nice. We take the profit, $72. I earned really well during this trading session. I have 4 trades, 4 clean wins. Of course, I could keep trading, but I've already traded quite a lot. And for that reason, I'm going to take a break and pause now. I'll edit a video for you to share some tips. That's my bot. I've been working on this bot for 3 years. I developed and refined it so that it shows results as accurately as possible. That's it. So now I'll edit the video and send it to you. Use it, test it on demo, and if you need instructions in English, write in. Send me a private message and I'll connect this bot for you. If you have any questions, also write to me in a private message. I'll be very, very happy to advise and help you. Wishing everyone profits and good luck. Great work, great earnings to all. Stay in touch. Goodbye, everyone.